So I just want you to say, if you have anybody with these characteristics, they probably lay on the spectrum, but they will never admit they are one. So again, if someone in your life says, I am a sociopath or I am a psychopath, they just probably have a lot of trauma and haven't worked on themselves and are so scared to get hurt.
Welcome to the Secret Life Podcast. Tell me your secret. I'll tell you mine. Sometimes you have to go through the darkness to reach the light. That's what I did. After 12 years of recovery in sex and love addiction, I finally found my soulmate, myself. Please join me in my novel, Secret Life of a Hollywood Sex and Love Addict, a 4-time bestseller on Amazon. It's a brutal, honest, raw, gnarly ride, but hilarious at the same time. Check it out now on Amazon. Welcome to Secret Life Podcast. I'm Brianne Davis-Gantt. Today we're pulling back the curtains of all kinds of human secrets. We'll hear about what people are hiding from themselves or others. You know those deep, dark secrets you probably want to take to your grave? Or those lighter, funnier secrets that are just plain embarrassing? Join me each week as we take a deep dive into one subject matter, exploring the how, what, when, where, and why of it all. Get ready for a more focused, more revealing journey of the human experience. This is Secret Life, and I'm excited for you to join the ride. Today, we are talking about, dun, 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 psychopaths and sociopaths. What's the difference? Yes, we are talking about this, and this is an interesting subject matter. I did a sociopath episode, and pretty much everybody loved it. So I wanted to talk about the difference between psychopaths and sociopaths, because I've had a couple clients that have dealt with a psychopath and a sociopath, and there's a huge difference. One is a genetic disposition and one is an environmental. So psychopaths are believed to be born into certain genetic and neurological abnormalities that causes them to develop an ASPD, and that is explained like an antisocial traits, behaviors that are in early childhoods. And a sociopath is more developed onset over several years later. So it develops over time. It's more of a, trauma-based, developed environmentally, and one is genetic and one is not genetic. So that's like the difference if you can put it together, the easiest way to understand. Psychopaths are controlled behavior. Sociopaths are more erratic behavior. And why I wanted to even do this is because really there's so many sociopaths and psychopaths walking the earth. There really are. They're in every day. They're just all on different parts of the spectrum. They only test, and I said this about sociopaths, they only test for sociopaths or psychopaths when they kill someone. They test it when they are in the jail system, and they don't test every day. Nobody walks in and says, hey, can you do that test on me? That behavioral studies, personality disorder test. Nobody goes in. So if you ever meet somebody and they're like, I'm a psychopath, they're not, because majority of psychopaths I have met two psychopaths and one sociopath. I've worked with them, and 100%. They do not believe they are. They will never admit it. So anybody with this personality trait and this, they do not admit it. So anybody that says they are not. These people do not want to admit it. So I just want to be clear. If someone's walking around saying they have these tendencies, they're just usually a shut down person that are very sensitive, and they're saying they have no empathy. So the characteristics I'm going to explain will probably help you. Narcissism runs pretty close to these personality types, but the real psychopaths and sociopaths will never admit they are one. That's number one. Okay, let's get into it. So here is some lovely definitions, and they are interchangeable at times, but psychopath is someone who gets the disorder because it's genetically dispositioned. They cannot feel empathy at all, or be any part of a loving relationship. They do not have a conscience,
and are unable to feel guilt. And it's usually all about them. When they do feel guilty, it's about them. They are the victims. They always feel like they are the victims. They are the one being wronged. They are excellent at understanding and mimicking human emotion. So they almost, it's like their role, they're playing actors. They have a facade. It's like a mask on top of a mask on top of a mask on top of a mask. They act like they care. They get emotional, but it's usually all based on them and how they are feeling. They rarely commit violent crimes. Sociopaths rarely commit violent crimes. If a sociopath is going to commit a crime, it's going to be very precise and it's planned out very carefully. Yes, so psychopaths, they are displayed as an antisocial behavior. There's another episode if you want to learn more about them. They form really quite normal relationships. They even have legitimate close friendships. They'll have like 1 or 2 close friendships and a romantic relationship. Their behaviors are very impulsive behaviors, and they rarely they have like one job for a long time. They're usually a respected member of society. Their actions are usually unplanned and they leave a lot of clues. They're usually erratic. These ones are the ones that are homicidal and delusional. They're very delusional. And here's the main characteristics. So psychopaths, like I said, they lack emotions or they stunt emotions. They act like they're having emotions. They don't form attachments at all or connections, no authentic bonds. They have difficult or they can't feel empathy. They disregard the social norms and laws. So do sociopaths. Sociopath and psychopaths engage in some criminal behavior. They don't feel guilt or remorse. They have both of them have failure to conform social norms. But sociopaths, impulsive, reckless, mood swings, highly emotional, make it all about themselves. And that's the thing. Sociopaths, family, close friends. So they hide easily. I mean, I was listening to this one therapist. I think I mentioned it in the other one. She had like a whole family and everything. And then she would just drive around and like break into houses and just sit there because she got a rush from it. And when she was little, she like stabbed someone in a pen. And then I had like other ones that like would hurt people when they were younger as children. They love to hurt people when they were younger, just to like have a release or break a law or steal a car, just to feel that high. But psychopaths, they more in their older age have no connection. They can act through life and look like they have connection, but really they just like to hurt people in general and they just love to have control. And they're like social predators. And they might hurt family, hurt friends without any guilt whatsoever. And they only value relationships that benefit them. And as soon as that benefit is gone, they're gone. It's almost like they're like ghosts. They just come in, take what they need, take. They're much takers. And as soon as you wrong them, they will do everything they can to destroy you. Every single thing they can. Psychopaths will do everything they can to destroy you because they found you as their property. And if they're done getting what they need or you did anything to them, they will destroy you and they will feel nothing. Absolutely nothing. They will do it even with a smile. The only thing they will feel is they were wronged, even though they could have created everything. They were wronged. So they literally they'll calculate, they'll scheme, they'll keep coming at you at different ways. They'll come at you every single way. They'll play the victim. They'll do this. They'll put on every facade to get what they want. Because psychopaths literally have no remorse and no feeling whatsoever. So they only put on emotion to get what they need because they're so dishonest. They're so manipulative. They're so narcissistic and they're charming. So when you first would have met them, they'll charm the pants off of you. They will make they'll feel like they were attached to you, but they're not because they pretend. Everything is pretend. But sociopaths were They'll constantly lie, and they'll be deceitful, and they'll have reckless behavior, and they'll act like they care, but they do a little bit. They're a little bit attached, but not a lot, but just a little. So it's these two things that sometimes people get confused. So I just want you to say, if you have anybody with these characteristics, they probably lay on the spectrum, but they will never admit they are one. So again, if someone in your life says, I am a sociopath or I am a psychopath, they just probably have a lot of trauma and haven't worked on themselves and are so scared to get hurt. Because I do have one client right now that says that their partner is a sociopath. I said, no, they're not. And if they're saying that, they're not. So what you have to do to work through with these people is you have to protect yourself at all costs. A psychopath, they are very sexually promiscuous. You have to make sure that you don't argue with them a lot. Let them win. Be like, sure, whatever. Don't constantly go to battle with them. They're compulsive liars. They will be dishonest no matter what. If you see the signs, get out. You will never win with a psychopath. There's no reason to argue with them. A sociopath, they will keep coming and having ties, and they'll use their children as props. And you have to go, I have to co-parent with this person. I have to work in. So I would use the gray rock method, maybe the yellow rock method if you have to talk to them often, light and polite. These are things that you can do if you have to talk to these people. But the best things to do is get them out of your life. They are never going to change. There is no amount of medicine that are going to fix these two people, because normally they have narcissistic personality disorder. They usually have some kind of addiction, and they usually have another type of medical thing usually going on, bipolar or other things going on. So when you are with this type of personality disorder, there is no type of therapy or treatment that usually gets them out of this personality. Yes, they can try to be less selfish, but it will always come back to them. So the best tactic is to get out. To get out, to not argue, to smile, and to turn around and walk out the door. Because if you see these signs from the beginning, they are not going to get better. So save yourself, save your soul, and say, thank you very much. Even if this is your father, you say, thank you very much. Yes, the sky is purple. Yes, thank you very much. Okay, bye. Bye. And just less is more. Always less is more, because you cannot argue with this personality type, because you will not win. And sometimes in life, you just have to abort the mission, because the mission is not worth losing yourself. Because losing yourself to somebody that just wants to argue for the sake of argument because they like to win and destroy you at all costs is sometimes just not worth it. And that's what I try to tell anybody that has someone like this that they are in love with or in a relationship with or have children with, is like, do you want to lose yourself with this person? Because they will come at you at all cost. Because dealing with this type of personality is deadly, because they lack empathy. Again, they are dishonest. They are incapable of emotions. They usually have substance issues. They are incapable of having intimate relationships, and they usually have a narcissistic personality with it. And they can manipulate and come at you at all costs. And let me just tell you, two of the types, Napoleon was a narcissist. Adolf Hitler was a sociopath. So that just gives you an idea. And 1% of the population is psychopaths, and 4% of the population, they're saying, is sociopaths. So we got a lot of them. So I'm just saying, I don't think that you or I have to deal with these people, and we have to get out as soon as possible, because sociopaths are ragers and psychopaths are very controlling, and you cannot negotiate with those types of characteristics. Thank you for listening to Secret Life Podcast. I hope this has educated you, and you save yourself when you deal with these two types, because they will come at you from every way possible. Thank you for listening to Secret Life Podcast. I hope this helps you. Let me know your thoughts, or send me what you want me to talk about at secretlifepodcast@icloud.com. Until next time. Thanks again for listening to the show. Please subscribe, rate, share, or send me a note at secretlifepodcast.com. And if you'd like to check out my book, head over to secretlifenovel.com or Amazon to pick up a copy for yourself or someone you love. Thanks again. See you soon.